test, 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 test. Yeah. I'm just texting with Rob right now because I'm going to do do it in the varsity gym. So we need the lights on. And I don't know if there's a practice going on. Yeah, I'm not sure how we're going to do that clap. Okay. With the faculty, okay, so how do you envision that working? They're going to come down,
Let's just bring Alex up front. Let's not have them process. And then just have them come down and meet in the middle.
the faculty. And then,
I will do my faculty thank yous, and then they can go out.
got it.
to the
Okay.
Keynote.
Okay. So Jalen,
Yeah, right here. Right here. Right here.
and they're going to stand in front of the stage on the board. And then Lindsay will talk about the faculty. They're going to clap for them. They're going to go up to the person to watch the stage. And honestly, if people don't stay, like they
We're not officially starting yet. We are working on having an overflow room in the K Center. If you have just arrived, the stream is happening over in the K Center as well. So you can head over there. There is less tight viewing. The graduates are being lined up. We're getting them to the door, and we will start in just a couple minutes. Thank you.
way.
Now we have my kids going.
I've never seen this. It's really good.
Okay, where's Nick?
Gotta be really tight to get.
Well, Kevin keeps popping his head out, but then there they go.
Like they practice. All right, seniors, just like our kindergartners, make all your waves. Thank you all, first and foremost, for your patience in our transition. I really appreciate it. Class of 2025, please be seated. Good evening to our families, friends, and our faculty and staff in the front, and of course, our graduating class of 2025. On behalf of the Maumee Valley Board of Trustees, I'm honored to welcome you to the 141st graduation exercises, a Maumee Valley tradition every year since 1884. Joining me tonight for the execution of our ceremonies are Mr. Andrew Weiner, President of the Maumee Valley Board of Trustees and a proud parent of an MV senior, our head of upper school, Mrs. Stephanie Harmon, our distinguished alumnus speaker, Mr. Alex Karcher, class of 2012. Faculty, stay here, don't go, stay. Mike House, Director of Enrollment Management, and our student marshals, Sophie Avram and Andy Caillot. Our tradition at Maumee Valley typically would have been to have had our faculty and staff process in after our seniors. We do this to acknowledge the indelible impact that our faculty and staff have made on the class of 2025. The Maumee Valley faculty is an outstanding group of educators. As teachers, coaches, mentors, they work passionately on behalf of your students. Faculty and staff, thank you for being here. Please, let's give them a round of applause. There are a few faculty that are having milestones this year, and so I'd love to honor them before they go. On Monday, we will hold our end-of-year meeting where we will celebrate the year, we will celebrate our faculty and staff and their years of service, and we will honor those who are leaving. However, there are certain milestones that members of our community have achieved that are worth celebrating here tonight. Faculty and staff, when I call your name, please give us a really vehement wave. Celebrating 10 years, we have Dan Cohen. Also 10 years, Mrs. Lauren Lake. Also 10 years, Mrs. Sarah Lake. Celebrating 20 years, Mr. Brett Green. And I expect a huge round of applause for this one. Celebrating 30 years, Jill Augustiniak. Thank you, faculty and staff, for the legacy you help build here each and every day. You're dismissed. Before we honor the members of the class of 2025, I would like to thank the parents and guardians who have joined us in this journey. Whether you've been with us for 1 year or 15, we want to thank you for sharing your amazing children with us, for giving us the honor and the privilege of working with them during this very important time of their lives. We have grown to love each and every one of them and are excited to celebrate them with you tonight. I'd now like to turn my attention to the amazing class of 2025 sitting before us this evening. I met this class when they were in 6th grade. I experienced my first 6th grade moving up ceremony with this class under the direction of Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Lake. Even then, they were smart, motivated, and silly. They knew how to have fun with one another. A few years later, COVID hits. Life changed, and the COVID cohorts became strong friend groups. This class, however, has been instrumental in bringing our community back together post-COVID to some semblance of normalcy. Now that I've been here a few years, I've learned that it's not just our graduates who are reflective, compassionate, and thoughtful members of our community. Wisdom here at Maumee Valley is fostered at a very early age. Let me share with you some thoughts from our lower school learners. Our 3rd graders just experienced their own moving up ceremony, moving from the lower school to the middle school. And they shared 2 things, what they love most about Maumee Valley, and they offered advice to future Hawks. I think their appreciations and advice just might apply to our class of 2025 as well. Let me share in their own words. When prompted with, MV is a great place because, Anna said, MV is a great place because everyone is so kind. I love going to school here because of the teachers, the students, and even the parents. I agree, Anna. The parents are pretty fantastic too. Aria says Maumee Valley is a great place because it gives kids a great education to learn and have fun. She added, MV is also great because everyone is unique in their own way. Grace says that Maumee Valley is a great place because the teachers use their time to plan fun activities for us. She added, they don't have to do this. They certainly don't do it for the money. They do it for us. I think Grace has seen inside the heart of our teachers. Jack shared that MV is a great place because you get to go on field trips and learn things about different places. Our third graders are right. Look at our senior class, 54 unique students who have fun while they learn. They've learned to be kind to one another, respect one another, and appreciate their journey. I can't wait for our own third graders to experience what our seniors have. Little do they know that field trips just get better, and the field trips to farms become immersive experiences around the world. But we start small and grow along the way. Our third graders also gave advice to future Hawks. These too can apply to our seniors. Alan says, "Don't be mean to each other. I think you should help each other." I agree with Alan. Grace says, "If you need help, don't be afraid to ask. Ask for help if you need it. The teachers are always willing to make something hard much easier." I think Gray has stumbled on one of the hardest lessons for self-sufficient, high-achieving people to learn. It's always okay to ask for help. Jack says, "Be polite when someone gives you a free piece of pizza. And say thanks when they help you when you get hurt." Very practical. Maddie says, "Enjoy every moment. It flies by fast." And one of my favorites, Max warns, "You really shouldn't be cocky, because if you're cocky, you won't get as far as you think you will." How do these third graders know so much? Tanvik summed it up with, "Don't be mean. Be good kids. Don't bully. Don't laugh at mistakes. Just don't be mean." Our seniors definitely are not mean. In my opinion, these third graders' hearts and minds have nailed it. Maybe not as eloquently as our seniors might express it, as you will soon see with our senior speakers, but the class of 2034 has many years to hone their literary craft and their oration skills. Seniors, perhaps next year, or perhaps many years from now, you, like our Maumee Valley third graders, will look back on your Maumee Valley experience, and you will realize just how different, how unique, and how special your journey has been. Your teachers have created amazing fun adventures for you. You have been challenged academically while also being challenged to be kind. And you might even find that the roots of your hobbies, your passions, or your career took root on this 75-acre campus in the heart of Toledo, or maybe on an intensive trip around the world. Maumee Valley is different. Seniors, you are different, and you are prepared. So hearkening back to the words of our third graders, be kind, be good kids, and appreciate every moment. We cannot wait to see what you become. We wish you all the best. At the Upper School Awards ceremony on Tuesday, we recognized many accomplishments of our senior class, including cum laude, the seal of biliteracy, academic honors, and athletic and artistic achievements, which you will find listed in your program. But we have two last awards to be given, the Maumee Valley Prize and the Head of School Award. The Maumee Valley Prize was established by the family of a former Maumee Valley senior. It is awarded annually to that member of the senior class who, in the opinion of the faculty, best exemplifies the elements of growth, change, and personal maturation during their high school years. This prize honors the one who has moved farthest towards realizing their potential in scholarship, character, or creative endeavor. This year's Maumee Valley Prize recipient has exemplified tremendous growth over the course of their Maumee Valley journey, growth that has not gone unnoticed by our faculty. But what is equally remarkable is how certain core traits have remained constant: unwavering passion, fierce loyalty to loved ones, and a deep commitment to the issues that matter most. Quick with a joke, but also quick to offer a helping hand, this person ensures that others feel seen and heard. They lead with empathy and authenticity, bringing comfort and confidence to every space they enter. When someone has such strong foundational values, their growth can sometimes be easy to overlook because it may seem like they have always had it together. But when you pause and really reflect, you can see just how far they have come, not only in how they support others, but in how they have grown as a person. As a freshman, they entered high school quietly, unsure of how they would measure up academically and hesitant to engage beyond their close friend group. They would sit quietly, take notes, and stay on the sidelines during discussions. The pressures of high school, grades, social dynamics, identity, expectations can sometimes be overwhelming, but they did not stay in that quiet space for long. A turning point came during the self-discovery and respectful dialogue intensive at the end of their 9th grade year. In that class, our recipient allowed herself to be vulnerable, to question her beliefs, and to grow into someone who could express her thoughts with clarity and compassion. She began to advocate not just for herself, but for those around her, becoming a thoughtful and respectful voice in difficult conversations. The following year, she participated in the Shark Tank Intensive, where students were tasked with creating and pitching their own inventions. While many designed products to solve everyday problems in their lives, our recipient chose to create a tool to support students with learning differences. This selfless, creative act speaks volumes about her character. She has always looked beyond herself to find ways to uplift others. Over time, our Maumee Valley Prize recipient has become more intentional in how she approached her academic and personal life. She began to prioritize her academic work, often submitting assignments early, and started choosing classes that genuinely interested and challenged her. She stepped into a maternal role among her peers, reminding others what needed to be done, encouraging them, and ensuring no one was left behind. She may not be a leader in the traditional sense of the word when you think of a high school senior, but when you look at the time in between her classes, you will notice something meaningful. She's not always surrounded by just seniors. She is often with the underclassmen, the freshmen, the sophomores. She can be found giving advice, mentoring them, and leading by example. These younger students truly look up to her. They know they can approach her with anything. This is the mark of a genuine person and true leader. A beautiful example of our recipient's personal growth happened in the anatomy and physiology class at the end of her junior year. Initially hesitant to participate in dissection, declaring, "I am not doing that," she ended up being the first in her group to dive in, leading the effort with curiosity and enthusiasm. She was willing to step outside her comfort zone and ended up discovering something that she genuinely enjoyed. Our recipient has learned to lead with strength, to set healthy boundaries, and to act from a place of kindness, even when there is no reward or recognition. Though she may jokingly ask, "What is in this for me?" she follows up with a big smile, an infectious laugh, and a willingness to help anyway. Her commitments to community and maturity are rare in people her age. This award honors a student who has moved farthest toward realizing her potential while at Maumee Valley. You, Eveline, have done just that. She told her advisor she wasn't going to cry at graduation. Evelyn Rose Parcher, congratulations. We are so thrilled to have you because of you. I want to thank Mrs. Brizzo for helping with that speech. Next is our Head of School Award. Each year, the Head of School Award is presented to a graduating senior who not only excels academically, but who also demonstrates strength of character, leadership, citizenship, and a profound dedication to the greater good of the school community. This year's recipient embodies these qualities in ways that are both inspiring and rare. The winner of this year's Head of School Award is someone who pushes herself every single day, not for personal gain or recognition, but out of a deep belief in the power of individual responsibility to make the world a better place. Her approach to life is guided by purpose, discipline, and a relentless curiosity. She is someone who sees every moment and seizes every opportunity. She uses each as a chance to grow, to contribute, and to uplift those around her. Let me ask you to reflect for a moment. When you get a break from work, from school, from tasks, all those obligations that fill your days, how do you spend it? Most of us might rest, catch up with friends, relax, read a good book, watch a favorite show, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when this student had to utilize her free time, she chose something different, something extraordinary. Over her final 2-week spring break, she traveled to a developing country, not for vacation, but to volunteer. She didn't do it to build her resume or earn community service hours. Trust me, she's got more than enough. She did it because she believes truly and deeply that helping others is one of the highest callings a person can answer. That trip is just one example of the kind of person she is. Her sense of purpose isn't a one-time effort. It is a consistent guiding principle that shapes everything she does, whether tutoring younger students, mentoring peers, or organizing sustainability initiatives. She gives generously of her time, her energy, and her talents. She's a fierce intellectual, someone who embraces learning not as a means to an end, but as a lifelong journey. She studies topics far beyond the classroom, not to improve her GPA, though it is already exceptional, but simply because she wants to understand the world more fully. She is curious about how things work, about how systems connect, and about how she can make things better. As impressive as her academic record is, that is just one facet of her excellence. She's also a remarkable athlete, a dedicated member of the field hockey team, a state champion in the triple jump. She has shown that excellence in athletics does not take just physical skill. It takes determination, discipline, resilience, and grit. She brings those same qualities to everything she does. Yet despite her rigorous schedule, which includes robotics, global leadership program, environmental club, athletic council, and countless other responsibilities, she remains grounded, humble, and kind. She's the kind of person who will stop to help a friend in need or who will notice when someone is struggling and offer that quiet word of encouragement or support. Among her many contributions, perhaps the most powerful is the example she sets for others. She shows us that excellence does not come from shortcuts or surface-level success. It comes from hard work, from values, and from staying true to your North Star, even when no one is watching. She reminds us that leadership is not about holding a title, it's about helping others and helping them succeed. She reminds us that service is not a task, but a way of life. While her accomplishments are many and would be impressive on any resume, it's her character that leaves a lasting impression. She is, without a doubt, one of the finest students to walk the halls of our school, not just because of what she has done, but because of who she is. So tonight, it is with great pride and even greater gratitude that we recognize our Head of School Award recipient for her academic excellence, her athletic prowess, her leadership, her service, her compassion, and above all, her unwavering kindness and integrity. This person has left a true mark at Maumee Valley. Michelle Lee, please come forward. Each year, the senior class leaves a legacy through their senior class gift. I'd like to invite David Patel and Joshua Wong to please come forward to present the senior class gift.
Good evening, proud families, friends, faculty, and the remarkable class of 2025.
Looking back, I'm sure we all remember taking our first steps through the upper school. In 2021, we sat down at the poker table, 6 feet apart and masks on.
The dealer passed around our cards. Some grades had everything handed to them, but not us. As a class, we were dealt a bad hand from the start.
The class of 2025 was the first grade to enter a post-COVID high school world. And because of that, we were forced to fold many of our hands in the beginning.
We were already the only grade to miss out on both the Chicago and DC middle school trips.
We then had homecoming out on the Bluestone.
And our first assemblies were not in the theater. They were here outside, where no one could hear us except for what came in the mic, except for the iconic
Go to class
from Jack and Grace.
Our class, in many ways, was not just returning to school after COVID. We were reconstructing it.
We slowly began to gain confidence and were forced to reimagine our high school experience.
Despite being thought of as young and inexperienced, we quickly bluffed our way to the top.
Whether it was founding ISA and TEDx, leading the Iftar dinner, or starting Team Eco, the dance team, and the music club, the class of 25 created an unprecedented number of clubs and stepped up into countless positions of leadership.
As Coach Fleming preaches to us while we're throwing up after suicides, giving up is easy. So despite the bad draw, our class never gave up.
We performed until we heard deafening screams from our fans after we beat Ottawa Hills on their own turf.
We practiced until we felt the thrill of victory when the track team brought home the track championship.
We played until we broke records and the girls' tennis team made history.
We laughed and talked until we created bonds and the unparalleled spirit of the field hockey team.
But beyond the fields, courts, and club meetings, we had our teachers who have always helped us play our cards right.
They have taught us so many important lessons and have given us so many incredible opportunities.
Dr. Cohen taught us that flip phones will never go out of style.
Senora McNally taught us that gordito is really an affectionate nickname, and she's not just calling us fat.
Dr. Barnes taught us how to find pill bugs and make the world's best spreadsheet.
And Mr. Dane taught us to really say yes when someone asked if we really did that bad on the math test.
And to our parents, don't worry. We also learned life skills we can't wait to use in the real world.
Thanks to Walden, we learned to live deliberately.
And stretch one paragraph into 4 pages.
Thanks to the math department, we now know how to find the exact number of points needed to not tank our grade, and how to pay for our tip at dinner.
And thanks to Mr. Raj, we know the difference between transcription and translation.
And that teachers were actually cool ones. Shout out to your breakdancing days at UT.
Evidently, the Maumee Valley community has been such a gift to us, and we want to return the favor.
So now, for the part you've all been waiting for.
How will the class of 25 be continuing the beloved tradition of a senior gift?
Last year, the class of 24 left us a ping pong table, which quickly became a fan favorite.
It was instrumental in transforming our library into a student union that is now constantly buzzing with activity.
We decided to build off the success with the addition of more comfortable seating and a microwave. We want to further revamp the student union experience to make up for all the indoor fun and community building that COVID took away from us.
On the flip side, in memory of our COVID roots, we turned our attention to where we found ourselves the most, outside.
Specifically, we aim to transform the Anning Lawn experience, a place with untapped potential, just like the student union a year ago.
Shade umbrellas for the tables so groups can still socialize outside with protection from the scorching sun.
And hammock chairs for those looking for a peaceful but comfortable spot to read and relax in nature.
You'll also see a large storage box inside.
Open it to find footballs, soccer balls, spike ball, and any other outdoor game or activity that you could think of.
You'll even discover a collapsible net so you can play badminton or volleyball whenever you please. But that's not all.
You'll also find a custom cornhole set, imprinted with a handprint and signature from every member of our dear class of 2025.
So know that every time you miss a bag toss, you're also expressing just how much you miss us all too.
With all the improved outside seating experience and the addition of games and activities, we hope that there's always something that can be done to have fun in each other's presence.
But we're not done yet.
While the senior gift is traditionally left for future Hawks to enjoy, we also wanted to get something for the seniors we celebrate today.
Seniors, please take a look under your seat for one final surprise.
And no, it's not another flooded bouncy house.
Inside the bag, you will find a deck of cards custom made for the Maumee Valley class of 2025. Next to it, you'll see a beautiful portrait of our senior class.
If we had the time, we'd ask you all to count the heads of the members in our exceptional class.
But we'll just tell you the answer. There's 54 of us.
And how many cards are in a deck, including jokers?
That's right, 54.
Every senior sitting before you today is their own unique card. And within the deck, there are millions of different combinations.
Every card has its own strengths and weaknesses depending on the game being played. But without any one card, the deck is incomplete.
Seniors, we could go on and on about how a deck of cards is a metaphor for life. But all we ask is that you keep this in remembrance of how you went all in by coming to Maumee Valley.
No matter what grade you joined our school, you gave everything you had to this extraordinary community.
So to future Hawks, put down your phones, put your backpacks in your lockers, and make long-lasting memories with one another while you still can.
And to the Maumee Valley class of 2025, well, as of tomorrow, we are officially jobless.
Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2025.
Thank you, Josh and David. I'm certain that Maumee Valley students will remember you all as they play cornhole and not only study, but find times to take breaks too. Each year, the graduating class selects student speakers to represent their class and present the final student address. This year, we welcome back to the podium David Patel, joined by Gloria Morales.
Good evening. On behalf of the class of 2025, we would like to welcome all family, friends, faculty, alumni, and distinguished guests to the annual 141st commencement ceremony of Maumee Valley Country Day School.
Well, graduates, we did it. As we look at you all in your caps and gowns, we see you're filled with excitement, nostalgia, and the desperate hope that you remember to submit your last assignment on Constellation Learning. We can tell there's a lot going on in your minds.
Think about how far we have come since freshman year. We lived through so many media and fashion trends. Think about all the hairstyles. There was the high top, the Karen cut, and the regretful buzz cuts.
From eating the yogurt our parents packed in our lunches, to now saying yo to Gert. It's crazy how things can change.
Our class has undoubtedly accomplished a lot.
From field hockey, beating Ottawa Hills by a penalty stroke in the fall tournament,
To spelling lugubrious in the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee.
to maybe the hardest of all, getting an A in a Lester class.
It's clear we flourished these last 4 years at the Valley. Yet, it hasn't all been a walk in the park. We have faced countless hardships and obstacles, like trying to keep our grades hidden.
I can't even begin to imagine how many families were torn apart because of parent access on my MV.
We have all gone through disappointments.
Like the occasional walk of shame of having to retrieve your backpack from Miss Jefferson's desk for the 3rd time in a day.
Who's we?
Don't blame me, that one's on Miss Brazeau.
Or the disappointment of realizing that after 3 years of waiting for our turn at the water bar, we were exiled to the student union, which now makes the library the least quiet place on campus.
Thanks to the class of 24 for bringing us the ping pong table.
And thanks to Mrs. Patel for bringing us David's voice.
For those of you hoping for some peace and quiet next year, you're welcome.
Don't lose your voice just yet. We still have a lot of the speech to go. Let's take it back to middle school.
While it may have seemed like the days of masks, social distancing, and Zoom calls, middle school actually taught us the most essential of skills.
It seems like yesterday. We were all in Mrs. Green's English class, pencils out, notebooks ready, and anxiously waiting for the Among Us room code.
We learned history, literacy, and how to lie convincingly by age 12 so that nobody would know we were the imposter.
Our skills grew in and out of the classroom, like logging. Yes, actually going out into the woods and climbing on logs. Where else were we supposed to build our survival skills and watch people fall off?
Luckily, we learned to get back up, and we entered high school wide-eyed, filled with ambition, and well-seasoned liars.
We quickly got adjusted to the upper school schedule. Choir, way too early in the morning.
Assembly, out on the Bluestone at 8:15, and then counting down the seconds to Dr. Cohen's evolution class.
We then got in line at 11:40 for Marco's Pizza, which which never seemed to be the right temperature, and pass the time talking with our best friend Brian.
After lunch, it was off to read Shakespeare or relearn the quadratic formula for the 10th time until 1:50.
From there, we would go to study hall and then all come together to peacefully end the day in the JV gym.
3 o'clock. The following year came with highs and lows of its own. There was the high of going to the bathroom to watch the final seconds of the World Cup game, and the lows of Senora McNally catching you in the hallway and telling you, get back to class.
Or like the high of listening to Miss Harmon talk about stretch zones, and then the low of Mr. Mumford sending you into your panic zone, yelling at you to get off your phone.
There's the thrill of getting to watch yet another Erie Chapman speech, but then the disappointment when you wake up and realize you missed the part where he took his shirt off.
But through all these highs and lows, we continued to push through, knowing we would soon be upperclassmen and life was about to get real.
As real as the transition from English 3 to AP Lane.
As real as selling boo for yous to planning prom at the Toledo Zoo.
As real as getting sent to Miss Smith's office, to now meeting in Miss Harmon's, and for some of us, even the occasional Miss Casto.
Emphasis on some.
As real as finally learning to appropriately use rhetorical devices, like an aphora. Miss Lester, are you proud of us?
Yet, despite all this learning, we still found time to savor our last moments with the great above us, filled with some of our role models and closest friends.
And of course, we were also forced to bond with the classes below, to stay on top of the brain rot, become their role models, and maybe even their closest friends too.
Before we knew it, we were seniors, and we were faced with the biggest disease yet. This was the worst epidemic our classes ever had to face, and today we'll finally find the cure when we walk across the stage.
Senioritis was briefly alleviated as we took to Sky Zone for Senior Skip Day.
This was the first time we saw so many people on time, eager to take part in inflatable jousting, hitting each other with dodgeballs, and learning how to backflip.
We continue to unite as we work through the college application process, filling our resumes with countless achievements.
Our class is made up of state champions, Eagle Scouts, social media influencers, national merit finalists,
OMEA soloists, Questbridge finalists, published researchers, and entrepreneurs.
Shout out Bree Bakes. If only our freshman year selves could see us now.
Back then, we never would have imagined we would be up on this stage, eager to turn our tassels and enter a whole new world, full of so many possibilities.
Maybe too many possibilities. I still change my major every day. I remember the first time I watched Grey's Anatomy and I told everyone I want to be a doctor. That was until I watched Suits, of course, and found myself wanting to pursue law, and now I'm watching Narcos.
Let's hope you don't fall down that path.
Yeah, I can't make any promises.
While some of us are clearly still trying to figure out what we want to do with our lives, we must also not forget to stop and reflect on who we were as a class at Maumee Valley.
During these last 4 years, we spent a lot of our time at MV trying to define ourselves. We tried the usual labels:
Were we the calm one?
the loud class,
The academic one?
the funny one.
We quickly realized that our class was way too dynamic to confine to a single label.
We are all so different from one another and have found our own people in our own ways.
But maybe that's where our true beauty lies.
You may not always catch us in the same place, but you'll still feel our combined presence wherever we go. Whether it's at Schlotsky's during lunch every day, hosting dance battles in the Perry Commons,
Playing Micmac Mike at the core of the school, or cracking jokes with Miss Dickerson. You'll always know where the class of 2025 is. In whatever way it may be, our class will always hype each other up and come together when it matters the most.
but now we get set to embark on a journey where we'll go our own ways. But as you know, the class of 25 will never truly be apart.
So tonight, as we stand here not as finished products, but as works in progress, we're reminded that the path ahead will not always be clear.
We're going to all endure new highs and lows as we set out on new adventures. So don't be afraid to dive into whatever's in front of you, but also don't try to rush life.
We know many of you are probably itching to get out of here tonight, and have been since the beginning of the year. But often, we don't realize we're in the good old days until we've actually left them.
We tend to get bored of our childhood and rush to grow up, just to yearn to be children again.
We lose our money, we lose our health to make money, and lose our money to restore our health.
We think anxiously about the future, so much so that we forget the present, such that we live in neither the present nor the future.
So take a moment to look at the peers around you, who, whether you realize it or not, have played a huge role in shaping who you are.
And think of how their long-lasting effect will play a role in where you'll be in, 6, 7 years?
Life is about to get real, and sometimes it might feel like the dreams we had as kids are slipping out of reach.
But here's the truth. Those early mornings when you will get up and push yourself.
Those late nights when you'll keep going, even though you're exhausted.
Those moments when you will show up despite doubt or fatigue. That is the dream.
And if we all keep showing up, I believe we won't just reach our dreams, we'll achieve something even greater.
At some point, you're bound to find yourself in a condition much worse than senioritis. But in those moments, remember that everything happens for a reason.
People change so you can learn to let go.
Things go wrong so you can appreciate them when they go right.
And sometimes good things fall apart so better things can fall together.
Our class has grown substantially these last few years,
From sitting through the freshman intensive, envious of the upperclassmen going on trips,
to now getting to explore the world on international trips as seniors.
and soon traveling on our own paychecks. Parents, we know you can't wait for that.
Each person before you has worked so hard to get to this point, and because Natasha Bedingfield can say it better than we can, live your life with arms wide open.
Today is where your book begins.
The rest is still unwritten.
Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2025.
Yay, good job.
Thank you, David and Gloria. Next, I would like to invite a musical ensemble to the front. It may take us just a minute to get it set up, but we invite Sydney, Oliver, Kevin, Allison, Breon, and Kari to perform The Journey.
My mic's not. Oh. All right, cool. I'll mind my business next time. Every time. We can't make a single noise. You gotta stick with the program. Yeah. Allison, that's your count. All right. All the times you could have given in and given up, times you didn't know if you were strong enough, still you got through. Somehow it's all part of the plan. The journey. It's the journey. It's the getting there to where you're going to. Going through hell, but still you're gonna make it through. It's a hell of a ride. All all the times they thought that they could hold you back, but you've always known there was no chance of that. You're made too strong. It's a part of a bigger plan, the journey. The journey. It's the journey. It's a getting there to where you're going to. It's the fire that they can't put out inside. It's a hell of a ride. Every step you take is one more on the journey. The journey. The journey. It's the journey. It's the getting there to where you're going to. Going through hell, but still you're gonna make it through. It's the fire that they can't put out inside. It's a hell of a ride. It's the journey. It's the getting there to where you're going to. Going through hell, but still you're gonna make it through. It's the fire that they can't put out inside. That's a hell of a ride. It's the journey. Oh, the journey. Yeah.
I think they need a standing ovation for playing in a space they've never played in, with instruments that have been rained on, and without a drum set. Thank you all for sharing your talents with us. I would now like to welcome our head of upper school and former middle school advisor to our keynote speaker, Stephanie Harmon, who will offer an introduction of our commencement speaker.
I am so honored to be able to introduce our graduation speaker this evening. Alex Karcher, MV class of 2012, was a lifer at Maumee Valley. Our paths first crossed when he was assigned to my advisory during my first year at MV. He was an 8th grader, and I was a fresh-faced, enthusiastic newbie in MV's middle school. Ah, yes, middle school. I would hate for anyone to be judged by who they were during their middle school years, especially as they are about to give a commencement speech at their alma mater. Nevertheless, in Alex's case, I have earned that right and will forge ahead. You see, Alex was a bit of a handful back in the day. He was gregarious, diplomatic, and wicked smart. At the same time, he was a bit mischievous and way too comfortable at MV. Quickly, I learned that Alex's gifts in the social skills department, coupled with his ability to talk his way out of anything, were going to test my leadership skills in the best ways possible. Seniors, you can thank Alex Karcher for the perfection of my "are you kidding me" face. And my "yeah, no" face. As Alex moved on from the middle school, he continued to hone his leadership skills and became the president of the Upper School Community Service Club, successfully leading a challenge that resulted in one of our math teachers shaving her head. A four-year captain of the diving team, a violist in the string ensemble, and co-chair of the Under One Roof Student Capital Campaign. With all of these accomplishments and continued growth, it was no surprise that Alex was awarded the prestigious Maumee Valley Prize, as well as the Leadership Prize. Following his time at MV, Alex continued his studies at Carthage College and graduated with a degree in history in only 3 years. He then went on to study at the Ohio State University Moritz College of Law, where he earned his JD. While at Moritz, Alex led the Truancy Mediation Project, mediated in Columbus schools, all while studying law at Oxford University, where he also wrote on human rights law. Today, Mr. Karcher is an attorney in Columbus, advising companies engaged in surface transportation on regulatory compliance, safety audits, corporate governance, and litigation across state and federal courts. Alex, I am so proud to welcome you back to Maumee Valley to present our commencement address to the class of 2025.
I'm going to flash back here a second. I'm surprised you guys even know who Natasha Bedingfield is, but I'm telling you, best concert I've been to ever 1 year ago last weekend. So do it if you have the chance. Good evening, everyone. Students, families, MV's dedicated staff, anyone else who just came from the free advice from somebody half their age. It's truly an honor to return to Maumee Valley tonight and to play a small part in congratulating the class of 2025 on this milestone. Of course, I also know that in time, most of you won't remember a single word I say here tonight. And that's totally okay, because 12 years ago, I sat exactly where you are, and I couldn't tell you my graduation speaker's name, what they looked like, what their general vibe was, much less what their message was. If you don't remember what I say, just remember this moment. I'm humbled to know that I can't possibly screw this up. Your first question, seeing me here tonight, might be why on earth someone who doesn't look much older than you is here to give you sage advice, deep words of wisdom, or words of encouragement for a challenging world. In reflecting and preparing for this moment, your moment, it occurred to me that those questions, and perhaps my presence here, might itself be the point. You don't have to be older for you parents in the room and teachers, to have learned important life lessons or to have achieved significant accomplishment. And you don't need to be older to be proud and loud about those accomplishments. You can be a wise beginner who shows depth beyond your years, a premature veteran who, despite your age, has experienced significant headwinds and challenges, naively profound, a paradox of someone who doesn't yet know the whole world, but already seems to just get it. Having spoken to Ms. Harmon and a number of your teachers in preparation for tonight, I know each of you exemplifies one or more of these oxymorons in some way. And frankly, I think Canby needs to give me a retroactive A in my freshman year English class for even coming up with them. In the lead up to tonight, I asked to speak to some of you so that I could hear directly about your experience at Maumee Valley and what made it important to you. I had to chuckle that pinning you all down among your busy schedules was more difficult than pinning me down among my busy schedule. That will resonate with you after a little while as you enter adult life and start to question how your parents ever managed to be working professionals and to nevertheless pick you up at the 3 p.m. car line or to attend your sporting events or your musicals or your concerts or any other endeavor you were involved in. One of the groups that I was looking to speak to suggested that it would be difficult to connect with them since all three were in various locales across Europe, spanning the continent from Scandinavia to Spain on their final intensive. Our scheduling conflict harkened me back to core memories of my time here at Maumee Valley, which included month-long opportunities backpacking the Appalachian Mountains near Tidiute, Pennsylvania, studying Spanish in Ecuador, sea kayaking the Sea of Cortez with some of my best friends, and a home-building trip to Jamaica. That's the one we shaved her head for. All of which endowed in me a deep passion for travel and service that continues to this day. If you ask my dad, he's still not totally convinced that my time at Maumee Valley wasn't more about self-actualizing my ass off than it was about learning. All of this reminded me of something my mom used to tell me every time she dropped me off for one of those excursions, or for that matter, dropped me off at my best friend Jonathan's house with its big rounded glass windows, or on the tarmac as I boarded my best friend Parker's plane for a trip to his beach house. Remember, nothing about this is normal. She often would add, and please, for the love of God, don't break one of those windows. We can't afford to fix it. And therein lies the primary takeaway. Remember, nothing about your time at Maumee Valley has been normal. In many ways, your time here has ensured that you will always fit any of the oxymorons on youthful wisdom, experience, global perspective, and academic achievement that I throw your way. You are all among the most privileged and gifted class of students in the country. That reality will transcend whatever your GPA was. Whether you participated in string ensemble, whether you were a 4-season or 3-season athlete, whether you were a bookworm or a social butterfly. I was the latter. It exists simply by having been a student at Maumee Valley and to have absorbed even a fraction of what this dedicated faculty has taught you. It exists for having been immersed in culture every day, surrounded by diverse perspectives, and for having been trained to always question and never blindly accept. You've been encouraged and supported to be and express yourself, whether in the art studio, inside a classroom, or within the community, when so many other schools would have stifled your originality. The realness that you break the traditional mold will sink in quickly, sometimes abruptly, as you join your non-Maumee Valley peers in your next chapter. It will creep in as you experience the joys of getting to know new friends and romantic partners. It's important to embark on that journey of discovery genuinely and with respect and acknowledgement of the immense privilege that your Maumee Valley pedigree has bestowed. Be proud of it, but never take it for granted. you're going to find that when you describe your experience at Maumee Valley to these new people, sometimes it will be difficult. That's partly because the essence of Maumee Valley can defy our spoken literary conventions. Maumee Valley is often more a feeling. It just is. For some of you, Maumee Valley may be regarded as more of your primary home than where you actually live. You may feel that some of the friends beside you, some of the faculty here, know your genuine self better than many members of your family. You might not all be feeling that way tonight, or perhaps you're disillusioned on your Maumee Valley experience altogether, and that's normal. As I sat on this stage in 2012, I couldn't wait to bust the hell out of this place. But like family, you can't quite shake this community that easily. In fact, it's even worse than that. Maumee Valley is the mom you can't offend even in your worst teenage tantrum. It is this place, these people here today, who will always be here for you at times and in ways that you least expected. In 2015, 3 years after I graduated, we lost my best friend, Jonathan. It was the Maumee Valley community, and many who are in the audience today, years after my graduation, who sustained me through my worst grief. And it was this community that made sure that I went to law school that August so as not to let Jonathan's loss derail my future. 10 years after graduation, and years after I'd spoken to many of my Maumee Valley classmates, many of us descended on Washington, D.C. for one of my good friend Nick Frasco's weddings. It was like no time had passed, and I think you are going to be much the same. Adult me says we still probably owe the people around us an apology for how disruptive we were reconnecting. Maumee Valley me says that we were the OGs in Nick's life and they can just deal with it. Take my experiences for your future self and sum them up this way. Maumee Valley will be your constant. Even if you haven't been here for it, it will be here for you, to celebrate your accomplishments, big and small, and to support you in difficult times to come. At this point, I'm now definitely standing between you and your families and your celebration. So I'll close with a few guiding principles that I've found helpful in my young career. Avoid being the smartest person in the room, especially in your next chapter. Nationally, I'm one of few subject matter experts in a very, very niche area of law. I'm the master of my trade, but I can't be the master of all trades. Lean on your peers, your teachers, your future clients, and others with much more knowledge than you to make you better. Learning and lifelong learning is critical. Second, listen first, speak second, and speak only with intention. The person whose opinion I value most is usually the most reserved voice in the room, often not sitting at the boardroom table, but off to the side. Find that person, get to know that person, be that person. 3, humbleness and your character will get you farther than anything else. Celebrate your achievements and great fortune, but don't be afraid to tone it down. I'm a transportation attorney. When asked by strangers outside of my profession what it is that I do, I usually say I work in transportation, sometimes to eye rolls of those who actually know me. Rarely do I introduce myself as an attorney. Sometimes your degree can be intimidating to those who have been trained to believe that educational pedigree establishes a hierarchy of worth. It doesn't. You'd be surprised to know how many doors open when you provide space for others who might not have that pedigree to feel comfortable. I don't remember what number 1. Therapy. Enough I sure as hell need it, and everyone here needs it. Talk openly about it, like a tune-up for your car, a good chiropractic appointment, or a relaxing vacation. You'd be surprised what talking to someone can do for you. Next, your GPA is only part of your story. If you're graduating tonight and you're not in the top 50, 60, or 70th percent of the class, and you're not going to a top college, or perhaps not going to college at all, don't sweat it. At 32, I'm in the top 10% of performers at a national large law firm. I was the youngest ever to make shareholder in my firm's 149-year history, and I'm the first of my college classmates to do so by many years. I'm also the kid who got a D in Canby's freshman year English class and outright celebrated having not failed. My ending high school GPA was somewhere around a 2.5, and that might be generous. My undergrad college is a no-name college in southeastern Wisconsin. You can be wickedly smart and not energized by traditional classroom education. Whatever does energize you, work harder than anybody else at it, and their success will follow. Know your value. When you're breaking norms, shattering glass ceilings, and changing the way establishments have operated for centuries, it's important to understand your value to the organization and to advocate for yourself. If your gut says you are being taken advantage of, odds are it's true. Don't be afraid to cut bait and jump ship into the deep end. Learn the power of no. Your time, even as you enter college or your next chapter, is your most valuable commodity. Choose the college clubs and causes you take on and the engagements you accept wisely. Have a self-awareness that if you say yes but can't fully commit, not only are you damaging your own reputation, but you may be standing in the way of someone else's development or the organization's success, who may have had the time and ability to give it their all. Above all, be good. Particularly if you go into a service profession like mine, you'll learn that there's always more to do, always somebody to let down. I live each day guided by an old saying attributed to a way dead Reverend John Wesley. Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, for as long as you ever can. No matter where your next chapter takes you, whether you pursue a career in medicine, or in law, or in the trades, or in service to others, proceed with goodness in your heart. Be humble. Give grace to yourself and to others, and above all, strive for goodness. Congratulations to each of you and to your families on achieving such a significant milestone.
Thank you so much, Alex, for those words of wisdom. Just like our third graders, young people can give great advice. I now invite Andy Weiner, President of the Board of Trustees, and Mrs. Stephanie Harmon, Head of Upper School, to the stage for the presentation of our diplomas.
Okay. In keeping with school tradition, we ask the family of each graduate to please stand if you are able when your child's name is called. Members of the class of 2025, please come forward to receive your diplomas. First row, please rise. Sydney Helen Abercrombie. Echo Behringer. Oliver Philip Bash. Shristi Bhaskara. Noah Batista. Kari Lynette Bland. Elizabeth Rose Brown. Corey Buckenmeyer. Corey Buckenmeyer. Chun Cho Hao. Margaret Rose Simonillo Kopp. Yoshita Dakarapu. Sorry. Second row, please stand. Where's Yoshi? Okay. Sorry, we didn't practice this. There she is. Okay, first row you can sit. Second row we got you. Okay, Yoshita Dakarapu. May Nesbitt Drew. Benjamin Fisher. Charles Theodore Gorski. Pavel Michael Grinberg. Max Ha. Kevin Edward Ham. Adeline Parker Henderson. Jacob Daniel Hennon. Tristan William Hurt. Okay, next row, please rise. Riley Hussein. Anderson James Stewart Jahimiak. Oliver Hudson Keel. Wanu Kim. Ellery Karena Leitner. Lee Hao Ying. Alexander McKinley Lloyd. Long Jia Jia. Ma Jinghao. Nathaniel Edward Martin. All right, next row, please rise. Gloria Angel Morales. Okay, here we go again. Gloria Angel Morales. Winbak Mi In. Eveline Rose Parcher. Davik Jamin Patel. Leah Amor Perry. Mackenzie Louise Phillips. Rami Thamin Reedy. Breon Nairi Roberts. Taiba Sadri. Mohammed Ali Tal. All right, last row, please rise. Eric Tang. Emily Carissa Thompson. Than Chiang Charlie Treen. Marcus Dwayne Walker. Wang Ching Un. Joshua Yuen Hao Wang. Miles Nigiru Waweru. Lila Crane Wiener. Demetrion Maurice Wheeler. Perseus Young. Blake Harrison Eustick. Zhang Jia Yu. Catherine Zhang. Zhang Yu Jie. Class of 2025, please rise. You may now shift your tassels. I am pleased to present to you the Maumee Valley Class of 2025. Congratulations, seniors.
We invite all in the audience who are able to please stand for the singing of our alma mater. It will be led by our vocal ensemble, and you may find the words on the back of your program. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2025. If you are in the audience, would you please sit down so that we can get everybody out? If you are in the back or on the stairs, we need you to leave so that we can process our students outward. We believe that it has stopped raining. If it really has stopped raining, our seniors will assemble outside in a receiving line, and you can greet them after they process. Thank you so much for your patience tonight. Thank you for being here to celebrate the class of 2025.